Hello and welcome to Game of Stools, presented by My Mom's Basement and Barstool Sports, and the Game of Stools House of the Dragon Season 2 finale show. Just wrapped up, and based on everything I've seen across social media and our chat, this is going to be a polarizing one to talk about, to say the least. We got a lot of teasing, we got a lot of build-up, but we didn't get a lot of payoff in this episode. KFC.
Tell me this is polarizing because you're on the other side of this. Did you like this episode?
I thought it was a good episode, but not a good finale.
First of all, congratulations. Second of all, did you like this episode?
By the end of it, I felt like I had blue balls. Clem tweeted, "I have dragon blue balls," and that's how I felt. It was a fine episode, but not a finale. It had penultimate vibes. Last week didn't have penultimate vibes. This week did. It felt like, okay, now I'm ready for the finale.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. I was told at the end of season 1, which had its moments, that season 2 was when shit was going to pop off, dragons were going to be dancing, homes were going to be burning, and flat out chaos for the throne was going to take place. And I got a full-blown filler episode for an entire season. That's never been done. HBO does it again. I can't believe what I just witnessed. And I swear to God, I can't take it. Like, I trust the small council in the chat. I trust the book readers. They say this shit is awesome in the books. I can't do this for
There's a strong chance with this bad of a finale, and then we have to wait 2 years for season 3. I don't think people are coming back to this show. I think this show's over. I think it's I think it's a
console.
I think it's a
console.
No.
Nothing ended up happening. When the whole season was just the same thing over and over again, building up to nothing. And I just first of all, to start this episode in Essos with the fucking Admiral chick, what the fuck was that?
By the way,
back to another Damon vision, which, by the way, if he was going to have that vision, we could have wrapped that up fucking 5 episodes ago. We could have the best part of this episode was flashing a White Walker and Danny. That was the only good part. The decision to waste time in Essos in a finale is fucking insanity. Like the rest of it, maybe we can argue about, like, you liked it, you didn't like it. Do you like battles? Do you like build up? Blah, 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 blah. Essos is like that. That is a like decision from a director or a showrunner or whoever that cannot be defended.
Welcome to the show, Kenjac, by the way. Kenjac is our guest for the finale.
I feel bad because the last episode I came on for was the ending of Game of Thrones. It was the last episode of Game of Thrones, and now I'm back, and it's the end of this episode. 2 back-to-back, just ringer episodes. This was a tough one, dude. This whole season was idling. It was just a car and park. Which is crazy after the buildup of last season. You would have thought something like you get like episode Rook's Arrest Battle, right? Which is insane, like the highlight of this season, no question. But like I think, and someone put this in the chat a second ago, and I completely agree with it. They aired these episodes out of order. Yes. The last episode should have been this episode. Yeah. Right. It's fucking crazy to end on that.
Right. Yeah, it's like I'm envisioning a world where HBO was like, oh, fuck, we aired the wrong episode last week, guys. What do we do now? I mean, it's that baffling. And as good as season 1 was, with everything making sense and being perfectly balanced and building, like Alicent and Rhaenyra having that conversation, like, yo, we already had the conversation that the ship has sailed, literally and figuratively. And now we're trying to do it again when Aemon is already off his rocker and Aegon's a fucking corpse. And now you want to come and be like, let's not fight? What? And Ulf fucking, I'm done with the Ulf jokes. Like, the whole thing, ugh.
That guy's
like started with Princess Rhaenys and her and the, like, what was so good about Rhaenyra and Alicent being like opposing each other ended completely so far away from that. Oh my God, it's terrible.
We need we have never needed a surprise episode in the history of shows.
I was
Next
thinking
week,
the same
they
thing.
drop it and we get, there's the battles. The ships are colliding. Everything's popping off now. We need that so goddamn bad. And I'm putting it out now. Sunday, August 4th, 2024. Season 3 will premiere probably 2027. If we're even still alive at that point, if we haven't nuked each other in the real world. That's a legacy episode for the entire Thrones universe. They got 7 more spin-offs coming our way. They gotta deliver some fucking blood and fire in episode 1, or I am out. I'm out, boys. I am Clem R. Martin, because this is what I dress up as when it's nothing but story. And hey, I know there's great stories. I know that this all built up to the alliance getting where they are. You need to. This isn't what Thrones is about, though. It's about Ned's head getting chopped off. It's about Dany laying waste to people with fire. Don't give me all the politics. We love the politics. The acting in that scene with Allison and Rhaenyra was incredible, but you gotta give us at least tits if you're not going to give us.
Listen, this is not even one of those like, you guys just need the battles, like you're fucking brain dead. No, there needs to be like a confrontation. We just kept like edging towards a confrontation that never happened. It doesn't even need to be in the form of a battle. I don't need to even, I mean, I would like to see it, but if it happened off camera, but there was some sort of conclusion or something that made sense, fine. That's fine. But like, there was just nothing. And the other bastard with Corliss, like, not now. Not fucking now, dude. Not
Bigger
now.
fish to fry.
That was an episode 2 conversation, along with the Bravo shit, Essos shit. So much of this stuff was episode 2 and 3, not fucking finale material.
That dumb bitch walking in the fucking island looking for her dragon. I'm like, if she doesn't get her dragon, and we didn't see her get the dragon.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
Murder her right now, and I like her, but murder her.
Yeah, I was borderline Kim Bauer fighting the cougar in the mountains in 24. I was like, what? Oof. And every time they cut to her, it was just like, okay, she's drinking water.
Sprinting.
Okay, now she's dying. Okay, there's a dragon in the air. Nothing.
I thought when you said drinking water, I thought you were being sarcastic. That literally was an entire scene in the finale.
Yeah.
Was her drinking water.
Oh,
Dude,
It was
it's
almost.
so
It
much
was
this-
like it reminded me of Luke on Hoth. I thought they were gonna like have to cut something open and slide her into a cow or something.
something.
Dude,
Yeah.
so much circular stuff this season. Like everything, like if even you could just start with Damon and Harrenhal just doing the same shit for 8 episodes straight. I mean, the son, the bastard in the sky, the boat that never left the harbor.
That boat there the whole time.
That boat was getting fixed for fucking 20 years. It just left at the last episode.
You know what the name of that boat is? That boat is this season. The show that never was. The show that never was.
Yeah,
It's like,
honestly.
you give me the name House of the Dragon to start with, and I'm like, oh boy, what do we have cooking here? You give me 2 seasons worth of buildup, and then we're just still fucking jerking off, and nothing's coming out. God damn.
Dude, that is the most totaled boat in the history of boats. That was, I can't believe how long that boat was being repaired for, dude.
And they're setting up for like the big showdown's gonna be when this boat finally sets sail with this new bitch. I don't give a fuck about that.
Well, they set up the new girl way too late.
Too
Like,
late.
do this, a couple episodes ago. You should have done this in the penultimate at the very least. Let us know who this lady is. But yeah, let me ask you this: if they nailed the finale tonight, if they delivered an episode, let's say as good as the battle episode where Rhaenys died, what would you like? How would you view this season overall? Would you be like that? Because I feel like week to week, I've been really enjoying it. But when you do look at the season as a whole, now that it's all concluded, like Kenjac said, a lot of it just went in circles. Not a lot.
Yeah, but that's what like
end of season 1 to 2.
tying something up can undo a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sticking the landing can go a long way because like if you're right at the edge and then it all comes together. But if it just ends up going further apart or just more of the same bullshit, it's like, well, there was always a little bit in the back of my mind of like, we're building towards something. So, that episode was good. There was some shit that was slow. The visions of Damon and, like this and that little things that I thought I was going to end up being like, those were nitpicky because in the end we got what we wanted. Well, in the end, those end up being, it looks even worse in hindsight.
Yeah. So
like, it's only 1 episode, but you're only talking about 1 out of 8, first of all, not that many episodes. And it's the most important one. And, so to me, that's worth, almost 40%. You know what I mean? It's like the final grade. It's like, and you totally bombed it. I mean, that has to be the worst season finale I've ever seen. So,
No, it's not as bad as the final Thrones episode.
You're right. Well, but okay. What was so bad about the Final Thrones episodes was undoing the greatness. This is just in a vacuum of like what happened and did not happen, and like it really might be. It was that bad.
And
If this was the penultimate, I think I would be happy with it, though.
yes,
if we flipped it.
Yeah.
or if it was enough had happened throughout this season where it's like when Danny has all the ships and we're like, oh boy, we're finally going to Westeros. And it felt like we were going to get something else. But there was just so much just chasing your own tail. And to the people in the chat that are saying, nobody hates Game of Thrones like Game of Thrones fans, or, oh, it's old takes exposed when this show gets good. I need it to get good now. I want it to be good. Don't give me that. That's all just bullshit. Malarkey. It's malarkey.
That happened season 8 too. I remember doing Game of Stools initially and being like, this kind of sucks. And everyone was like, nah, you're crazy. And then time goes by and everyone comes around on it and they all realize it sucks. Right now what's happening is there's a fuck ton of people who love this show, love this series, love this world, want this to be good, need this to be good, and will not admit that it was not good. And you're going to come around on it. And over the course of the next 2 years, when you got nothing to watch, the mini series spinoff that's only
a
5
Dunkin' Egg or something, right? Dunkin' Egg.
Come in, like stuff that's really not going to satiate you. You will admit that all of this was just it was like 2 episodes 4 times in a row. It was like we just did 2 episodes 4 times.
We haven't advanced like really at all. It feels like we advanced maybe like 2 weeks of real time since the ending of the last maybe. Like we're in the same exact spot. Although I don't want to play like devil's advocate too much. There is stuff, and I feel like maybe it'll be good to talk about this too. The stuff that was good about this season. I think the Rook's Rest battle is fucking sick, right? Yep. Great sequence. I think the Dragon Pit scene from last episode was fucking awesome. I think Blood and Cheese, great sequence. Tully shitting all over Damon, great sequence. Eric versus Eric. I think the ending of last episode, all that stuff is very good. And it's just like a collection of things that are in the broader scale. Like there's just no momentum really heading into this next season, which kind of bums me out. Because like you're saying, like people will tune it. Okay. They're gonna.
Well, they will, but like you it's like fool me once, fool me twice. Eventually, it's like I thought with season 1, I was like, okay, we're back in good hands. We're on a book. We have source material, and then this felt season 8.
Yeah, I'm also curious for the book readers how much this followed the books and how much they went off on their own here. Like, it seems like if they were following the books, weird spot to pick as the finale.
Well, so that's what I've heard from book readers is that this book's actually not as long as all the other books.
Yeah,
and so they felt like they stretched it out. And then HBO is trying to hide this thing where they just don't have the budget for this. They're trying to say we needed to end it short because of like storytelling, and it's like I don't buy that. I don't buy that you're going to cut a whole season short and have a shitty finale to set up something that's going to happen in 2 years. That's just not how the world of television works. So I think they're following the books. I just don't think their time, like the amount of time they're spending on each thing. It does not seem to make sense.
They needed to recut the ending to like Hell's Bells by AC/DC just to like fire everyone up a little more. Just a visceral reaction.
Can I tell you?
Right.
I started late. I was texting the group. I didn't even know if I was going to get to watch the episode. I came home. I didn't have any internet or couldn't stream anything. So I was probably like 10 minutes, what I felt like 10 or 15 minutes behind you guys. So towards the end, when they were just doing the montage of like all of the armies coming together, I started to fast forward because I was like, I got to catch up with the guys. And then the credits, and I was like, oh no, I must have just fast forward too fast. I was like, no, that's the fucking ending. I mean, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was almost
like they ended it. They ended it on like a next season on House of the Dragon.
Yeah, like one of those montages. Yeah,
I mean, just so bad. And like
Robbie, I said it myself. It's like when you're watching the Raw after WrestleMania and you expected all this shit to happen, nothing happens. At 10:58 all the way to 11:03, because those 3 extra minutes, which are always so fucking good. It's the best 5 minutes of basically the year on Raw. And I was like, they're gonna have to do that here, and they gave us nothing. They gave us a commercial for, hey, 2 years from now, you guys get Raw and WrestleMania back.
And that stupid iPhone game, a commercial for that fucking thing.
Oh, my God. Kit
Harrington.
Harrington's down bad, dude. He's got bills to pay.
I was
It
gonna
looks
say
horrible.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna download it. I'm gonna download it, put 1 star, and say the House of the Dragon season 2 finale sucked, and then I'm gonna delete it.
It's so funny you brought up the secret episode. I think me and you were like, we talk about secret episodes so much, and they're not a thing.
Never
They're not a real thing.
Somebody just did one, didn't they?
They did one for the Sandman on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, it's not a real thing. I guess it is, but like for the most part, it's just not like logical and money and like there's a million reasons why not to. But the day that somebody does it for real on a real show like this, the day that we're sitting, it's 9 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm watching fucking baseball, and all of a sudden the internet starts to clamor. Are you watching HBO right now? Wait, oh shit! This is like it will be the person who has the balls to do it. It will be incredible, and man, wouldn't this be a time to do it? If I had the balls to do it, I would make this episode suck.
Yeah,
I would make it bad, so I draw all the losers like me in, and then fuck me in the face. But it's just not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If they do that, I'll egg on my face. I will smash a carton of 12 eggs on my face next weekend live.
Absolutely, 18 of them in my face. Let's go.
You want to go through the episode a little bit here?
do it.
Like we kind of discussed already, it begins with Tywin Lannister bargaining with the Triarchy, the pirates, and again, wasting time with this in the finale. But the scene itself, if you just look at it in a vacuum, I thought was pretty funny. I loved the running joke of them calling him the wrong name the entire episode. Timon, Tyrod, like they just kept
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
Yes, Karaba stuff. Reminded me a little bit of the Asgardians with Rocket, just being like that rabbit, that dog, like. It was funny seeing him get emasculated in front of everyone by the chick that steps up. What was her name? It was like Shiraka.
Lohar.
Shiraka?
Guys, we don't even know this bitch's name. That's how fucking stupid it was. That
Viking chick.
But yeah,
And they mud wrestled. That was another thing. How much time did we have to spend on mud wrestling in the finale?
We get it. Yeah, we know where this is gonna go. He's gonna win her over.
He decked her in the face.
You had issues with that Italy versus Algeria boxing match. You have issues with this one. Big time.
Yeah, that was crazy. He decked her in the face, and everyone had that reaction of like, how could he slap? Oh my God.
Yeah, how could he?
I'm looking back at my notes and I'm like, it was such a happier time when I thought we were going to get some shit. I'm like, I'm so happy we don't deal with these freaks in Essos anymore. I thought that was the only scene that was going to be out there and we were going to have to think about this ever again. And then it's like, nope, you're going to go back, have a mud wrestling match. Again, Robbie, what time is the co-ed mud wrestling match on the Monday after?
Yeah,
that's at 9:20.
That's
9:20
Sunday
p.m.
night, bro. It's not even on Raw.
That's Sunday Night Heat. Yeah, that's Sunday Night Heat.
Yes. We see Eamon burnt up Sharp Point. That would have been nice to see. I assume they didn't have the CG budget for that scene, but this
time out. Yeah. These fucking guys didn't renew the NBA for billions of dollars, the one product everyone loved. They can't pay dragons and they can't pay for the NBA. What is the point of Max existing in this world without the NBA and dragons?
It's crazy. And like that was so bad that I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like there's one thing when they did like the battle of the Blackwells and the Brackens, like it was very clear what happened off camera. And this, I was like, wait, what's burning? Did he do that? Like to just have that be, that's up there with Danny going Mad Queen for me, where it was just like, wait, what happened? He just flamed the city and we didn't even really fucking like know what's going on here. That maybe it's on me for not paying attention fully, but I was like, that feels like something that needs to be addressed more than just Clubfoot walks in and says, "Hey, your brother's burning cities." Like, wait, whoa, what the fuck? Show me something.
Robbie,
also,
you know what? But Batgirl didn't die for that. We should be able to see.
We should be able to see Batgirl. They fucking shelved that movie. Michael Keaton, Brendan Fraser, directed by the Bad Boys guys. Also, Nick Hammy just sent in the group chat a great point. We never saw this fucking thing. What if there's a secret episode?
Oh, no. Maybe there is a secret. See, you boys are starting to believe that.
Hey, let's go.
What is that from?
Yo, Tyler Hoffman just said it perfectly. The episode should have started with him burning the city. Yo, you set the tone with that finale. Oh, we're going to make the best finale just talking this through right now, boys. All right, we got the first scene.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, I need like some film student from NYU to recut this whole thing, release the Snyder cut, and it would be awesome. If it starts out with Eamon being like having one of those scenes where he's like Allison said, you're embarrassed, you're you're doing this out of all your pride, and we see that he's flaming people. We come in so hot. Instead, I legitimately thought I was watching the wrong episode. I pushed right. I pressed the pause. I was like, "Is this season 2, episode 8? Like, what is this?"
Yeah. By the way, they make the big point of saying like, yeah, Aemon ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. Like, who the fuck knew that? Who could possibly have seen that? He just flew back.
Like that's a huge point to just have be told by a fucking piece of dialogue. That is insane.
The Aemond performance in this
But
episode.
wait, hang on. They did not even show him seeing the fucking, oh fuck, there's too many of them, I gotta go. How do you not show that moment?
Mm-hmm.
How you show it from just like a flicker of fire that he got mad and flamed the whole city? What? That is insanity.
I don't know if this is.
How would you know that, Kenjac? How would you know
I have no
that?
idea how they would possibly.
How would you know that?
No one else was flying next to him with like a fucking camera crew or something. Like no one knows what happened.
I don't know if this is a compliment or not, because I think the guy who plays Aemond actually does a good job as Aemond. But during this episode, I thought to myself, I think his name is Ewan Mitchell. I was like, if they made the Star Wars prequel trilogy now, he would be a good Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
He actually good at turning evil.
That was like my thought during this episode. I was like, he's coming off a little Hayden Christensen-y.
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
We bought an Aemon wig. We bought an Aemon wig for this show after season episode 3. And it just sat in his bag for 5 fucking episodes. And I just never had a chance. How do you have a character that good and not one time in the second half of the season he has a moment where it's like, that's the dude from the episode? Crazy. Crazy.
He did have a cool hop on his horse last episode. That's the coolest thing I think he's gotten.
That's true. Kenjac, as a green guy, I mean, you're with us lockstep on basically all this, right? Because obviously, for the people who don't know, Kenjac's team green, we're team black guys. But I mean, at this point, it's just we're all House of the Dragon guys more than anything.
Yeah, that is pointing out too. There was a scene where he turned back, but I saw the scene. They played it in the post episode too. It wasn't like you saw the dragons from so fucking far away. They could have been birds. They could have been seagulls, dude.
Right.
They didn't. It wasn't like that. That could have been like a focal point of the whole episode.
There needed to be a moment where him and Vagar think that they're about to run the fucking world, and then these guys descend on him, and Aemon's entire self-worth caves because he's had this thing in his head for so long, from a bully boy up until now, and now he realizes it might not come true because they've got all the dragons in the fucking world. That's what I'm talking about. When people are like, oh, not enough battles for you, dummy. No, something like that, where we watched a character who like we fucking came to fear and so complex, and
Cersei shame,
like, crumble in real time. None of that.
Cersei in the shame sequence. That's not a big battle. That's like a mentally broken character scene.
Yes,
that's incredible.
Yeah. Then we get the Laris scene, comes in, meets up with Aegon, tells him about the Sharp Point temper tantrum. And Aegon's like, all right, prop me up on the throne. When he gets back, I'll arrest him. And he's like, all right, yeah. And then what then, dude? Like, he has the biggest fucking dragon. Like, did you not think about that for even a second with your half-burned brain? And Aegon,
blown cock. I wish my dick would explode. If you had the choice of watching that episode again or blowing my dick up in a firefight, I would probably blow my dick up.
That description was just brutal. He's just like, my cock is destroyed. He's just like, what? He's like, it's destroyed.
Did they tell you
like a sausage?
Destroyed. It felt like Larry David. Did they tell you it's gone? Like a sausage at the barbecue. It's destroyed.
It's like the first scene in Dave, the Little Dicky show, when he's like trying to warn the doctor before he even takes his pants off. He's like, I just got to warn you what this thing even looks like. And Laris tries to convince him. He's like, you got to leave a legacy, bro. Like, you have an opportunity here. You can't just wither away and die. Like, be Aegon the fucking one that brings people together. Be Aegon the Conqueror, but not the Conqueror. He has
Rebuilder.
Names for him. Rebuilder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the perils of drunk driving. Is you just take one look at Aemond. He's got an exploded cock. Don't drunk drive your dragon.
Yeah, it's a great point. Then we get the Ulf scene, which it was a little too much when Ulf is just being a hardo at dinner, and it was like funny at first, but again,
we were all rooting for you, Ulf.
Vibe. We were.
The whole time. First of all, I was thinking, you can't do that much. you can do. He's a commoner. He doesn't know. Like the Jacaerys stuff was okay. Or he's like, oh fuck, you're the prince. Like, oh shit, my bad. That was fine. On and on. Like once the queen says to you, like, hey, shut the fuck up. You don't keep going with that shtick. So that I felt was very like just unrealistic in the first place. And then the whole time I'm thinking, Ulf's either gonna blow it for Team Black, or he's gonna be the unsung hero, or maybe he's gonna flip or something crazy. Oh, nothing. I don't know. Nothing doesn't matter.
No.
I'm like, cut these dicks. When you talk back to the queen, cut their heads off. Dragon will find a new rider, find another. There's 1,000 bastards. Just get another one. He'll pick another one. That's what I'm at this point.
Yeah, seriously. Like if there's as many bastards, this one sucks. So flame a whole bunch of other ones to find a new guy.
His dragon's got low standards. Real low
standards. That dragon is like a girl in college with low self-esteem who's been dumped and cheated on, and she just wants a boyfriend.
Yeah, when Ulf brought home that dragon, all his boys were like, we got a grenade.
Yeah. No, it's the reverse. I think when the dragon brought back Ulf, all the other dragons.
Yeah.
You chose the dumb one?
Rhaenyra meets with Corlys. He warns her about all the other dragons. He's like trying to lay out, and we got this guy, and there's another unknown rider over here, and they've got an unknown rider, and Dreamfire, Helena's dragon. What if they bring her into the fold? And he tells her he renamed the sea snake, the queen who never was. Nice. If we saw the ship do anything, like if he would have fucking went out in this scene, I was kind of like, ooh, I love Corlys, but I'm a little worried about him now because he's like, everything I do is for her now. I'm like, all right, he's gonna fucking go down in flames here. Sure. I thought we were at least gonna get at least one big death this episode. Not one.
The finale.
We got one big death the whole season, really. And I mean, we get the kid early on, but Rhaenys is the only like true character we got that died, right?
Yep.
Pretty much.
And even Aegon, like we thought we had one and we didn't. So the whole thing is just a tease.
Corlys is already that dude, though. When he speaks, I'm like, whatever he says, listen to, because if you don't, that's going to be the reason you lose the war or the battle. Or he just spitting facts on her nonstop. And naming the ship after your dead wife is badass as fuck. She was badass. I love that. At the same point, I like how Rhaenyra was like, oh, thank you. He's like, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You killed one of my sons, and there's a lot of weird shit she's done to this family.
And that's another thing with her. And you know how I ride for my girl Rhaenyra. Still being like, oh, I thought getting the dragons was going to be enough for them to call off the war. The war is not getting called off. Okay? And you say that to Alicent in multiple episodes this season. You know the war is going to happen. It's too late. So stop thinking that crazy fucking Aemon is just going to go, oh, all right, I got too many dragons. You win. Send a raven. You're the queen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. She thinks she's going to get a snow day, and you're in third period.
Yeah.
You're at school.
You thought you were getting 10 to 12 inches, and you got a flurry. You got to go to fucking school, bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we get the Daemon preparing to march scene, and Alfred finally arrives at Harrenhal, like, with 2 fucking minutes left. Daemon's he's on his way out the door, and Alfred shows up. Thank God. They go out by the tree. They hear a voice go, traitor, traitor.
Yeah.
And he tells Daemon, like, we need a king. That's what we need. Like, Rhaenyra is nice. Women can, vote now, and that's nice. But, like, we need a king here. And Simon Strong goes and tells Rhaenyra right away. So Rhaenyra hops on her dragon. She's like, all right, let's fucking
bro code, Simon. Come on, dude.
Yeah, there was no bro code with Simon at all. But you know what? Simon was in this season where we had a lot of circles. Simon was an unsung hero. I know we said we liked him, but I really did enjoy him this season.
If there's ever a time to break bro code, it's probably when someone is, going to go against the queen and like really fuck things up for the whole realm. So you get a pass on that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually hear Trader? Because I read it and I was
read it.
I didn't hear that, and my wife's like, I didn't hear it either, and I'm like,
gotta have your subtitles on.
Have your subtitles. They just forgot that. That's gonna be like the Starbucks. I'm like, oh yeah, we forgot that. We'll add it in like in post.
That was like, I want to go back and like put my volume on 100 and hear if there's a whisper of some sort, because I definitely didn't hear it.
They're gonna go back and take my whisper from this episode and just put it in. I give them full right.
That was a good one. Let me hear it again, Bob.
Traitor.
Nah,
that's good. Mystical.
Speaking of mystical things, Helena, we get a little bit of Helena this episode. She tells Alicent she was happier before she was the queen. She's like, I don't want any of this shit, really. And then Aemon walks in, grabs her by the arm and is like, let's fucking go. You're going to war. Starts yelling at her. And then Allison grabs him and she's like, not like this. I don't want to win the war like this. Very wrestling vibes when someone grabs a steel chair when the referee's down. And then like Vicky Guerrero's like, we can't do this, Eddie. But it was a good scene where I forgot that all of these people are, it's like a mother and her 2 kids.
It's her mother and mother-in-law.
It's weird.
That's a big time, like, your sister gets scared. Like, stop doing that to her, you know?
Yeah.
I have to admit, Helena is like, it kind of like, I don't know how it happened. Again, I'm in Attitude Era. I just watched a documentary on it, so I'm like obsessed with how great it was. There was a point when Mankind just became my favorite wrestler, despite The Rock, Stone Cold, all these awesome people. Helena's kind of like becoming one of my favorite characters. I fucking love her.
Absolutely. Because you know what? Like in a season where there was so much filler, every time she says something, it's super important.
Yeah.
She's either predicting or whatever, a little bit of warging going on, Three-Eyed Raven type shit. Every time she talks, I'm like, listen to that because that matters. She's
like peak brand, like the best of brand, but none of the worst of it so far.
Yeah.
Yes. And all these people looking for revenge and, my throne and this and that. It's like her fucking son's head got chopped off in front of her. And she's like, I just want everyone to be cool and happy. That's all. I don't even want to fly my own dragon. That's awesome.
When Allison was like, she's the most deserved of like, it was a good line of like, she's the girl who deserves this the most and deserves all the bullshit the least. And it was that's a fact.
Yeah. The guy who deserves the most bullshit the most is Kristen Cole. We get Gwen. He fucking goes up to him with his sword and is threatening him in the fucking forest. And Kristen Cole is just emo as shit. He's like, we're all insignificant compared to the dragons. We're all just specks of dust. Very like the sun's going to explode one day. So who cares? Shout out Jack Carabas. And he's like, we're marching towards our annihilation. To die would be a relief. This is another scene where it felt like they were almost like, oh shit, we didn't have a Kristen Cole scene in the finale. We're just going to end the season with no Kristen Cole. Let's throw in him being emo as shit one more time. But it didn't have any effect on this episode.
And him being like,
sniffing the hanky is gross, dude.
Oh,
that's
fucking
nasty
titty napkin.
Him being like, I do everything for her because she saved me. It's like, ugh.
I know. She's my beacon. So much
pussy. Oh,
There was a moment where I was like, Sir Kristen Cole is the worst, but in a great way as a TV viewer. Like, and you can't deny it. He's climbing the ladder and he's becoming the hand and he's doing this. And then they just chopped his cock off too and made him like this emo boy who's just afraid of dragons. He all of a sudden he like realized the dragons. Like, yeah, what'd you think? What the fuck did you think Dragon War was gonna be, dude?
So basically what happened to him is he avoided death by dragon where he should have been dead, right? And he's like Jules from Pulp Fiction when he has the epiphany when he missed all those bullets miss him and he's like, I'm just gonna wander the earth, leave this all behind. I'm like, if he's gonna do the Jules thing and just like wander Westeros, that's a pretty cool arc. I could get behind that. And instead he's just a little bitch and he's shining his sword and we're just like, God damn. And then my wife's like, wait, I think he's gonna unalive himself. And we're like, let's go, Kristen. Let's go.
I was thinking that was gonna happen. That would have been cool too. I don't know, something, but
Hey, Kristen Cole, you take that sword up, you shine that some bitch up real nice, turn that some bitch and stick it straight up your candy ass. Fucking bullshit episode.
We get Jason Bela talking about the new Dragon Riders, and he's all pissed, he's sulking, and she tells him, suck it up. Dude. She's like, fucking chill out, dude. You're the fucking prince. Get on your dragon. Go make a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally Clayton Bigsby, the way he talks about bastards, dude. It's so fucking funny. He's like, these are the worst scum of the earth pieces of shit. It's like every one of these dudes is also a Targaryen by at least half. So
you are exactly the fucking same, you dork. That was a fine conversation too, but like, again, should have happened 4 episodes ago. Like when they've had that scene has happened again every 2 episodes. That happens. Where the first time she's doing something with the crossbow. And they always have these conversations. Like we could have done that all in one shot and not fucking wasted time during the finale. It was a good. It's a good conversation. It's a good piece of his character. Just didn't need it there and could have had it before and comes off as whiny and just filler instead of like important.
It's like all the pieces of this episode individually are good and work, but when you put them together, it just the puzzle pieces don't fit.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Really
weird.
Applied to the whole season too. Yeah.
We
Chase
get
is a middle manager. He's a middle manager that can just is good at talking down to his subordinates like Ulf, who fucking suck. Don't get me wrong. But anytime he's at the fucking grown-ups table, he's an absolute zero. And my Jace take from like 3 episodes ago is aging like a fine fucking wine right now. Hey, Jace,
my Jace take is aging like cheese.
Oh, Jace, what do you think we should do in the next battle? Should we fly the dragons? It doesn't matter what you think. I'm going full attitude. I'm just going full attitude.
I feel like Clem is stuck in, and he can't get out. He's in he's spinning the token. He's just stuck in the
It's 99, boys. It's a good time where I am in this bed right now. Feeling good.
I don't mean to bring you down, but Tylan just sings a song to the pirates at one point in this episode.
I mean, oh my God, that was lunacy. I felt like I was being pranked. I was like, this can't be really. Am I watching like a fake HBO channel? This is nuts.
Yeah. A lot of people have said last season and this season. I got a lot of tweets that they think this guy looks like Dave. They think he Portnoy Lannister.
Yes, a lot of Dave.
I could see that. And Shirako says she'd be pleased to sail with him after all. Toast to the sea snake, ruining the day they meet again. So they've got a little history there. And she's like, I want you to have my babies. And he's like, already? And I'm thinking, like, they're about to fucking go to sea. What do you mean you want to get pregnant? She's like, no, I want you to fuck all my wives. He's like, how many wives do you have? Which, again, funny scene, but like, this was a episode 5 during the season. Everything about this episode, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. Just none of it felt like a finale.
I honestly don't think you should have an ounce of humor in a season finale of Game of Thrones.
You don't need it.
Like, that's not the time to do. Like, that was funny. Like, how many you got? I don't know. Fuck them all.
By the way,
not now, dude. Not now.
That whole crew is like a nightmare for a portion of this country. It's like a fucking like they're all dressed in rainbow gear, intersex captain. They're all cucks. They're all
blue hair, literally blue hair,
red, white, like rainbow colored hair. It is a nightmare for some people.
And yet another scene we didn't see that would have helped the episode. It's like, oh, and here are 6 wives, and here's him fucking them all right now.
Yeah.
And then the fucking IMDb rating slowly creeps up a little bit. I'm just saying, it could have worked. It could have worked.
Team Black has a little pre-battle dinner. Again, Ulf being a jack-off. When she lays out the plan, they realize a bunch of innocent people have to die. And now it was like, all right, I'm Team Black guy, but this doesn't sound great. And they're like, it is what it is. And
but again, what did you think was going to happen? Like, you're going to fucking war with dragons.
It is war. Yeah. With fire. War with fire.
Fire that sprays everywhere. We're not, Come on.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the 7 Fishes episode of The Bear. They're all just sitting there, Ulf's being a fucking asshole, and like they're all just like arguing over like it's like, well, this is such a clear thing. What's happening right here? Like this is war. This is war, and like I feel like that's an issue they've had with Rhaenyra this entire season. Is like her just like being flip floppy on everything. Like, oh, like I'm fuck you, Allison. At the end of it, all this being like, it's in motion, it's going. But 5 seconds earlier, she's like, we don't want to kill anyone. That's bad.
That to me, like Rhaenyra, and then also will send scores of people to their death trying to get dragon riders.
Yeah.
So which fucking is it? Like
watch them burn alive.
A very big hypocritical flaw in her character arc.
And I don't mean to go back to it, but the white worm kiss, after it wasn't paid off in the slightest, it was comes off as like a cheap pop at the end of that episode.
Absolutely.
Hey, cheap is good sometimes. Sometimes we can just enjoy.
That was puppies. That was
it was.
The King. Oh,
that was the attitude era. Yes. Jerry Lawler went crazy.
They are, it sucks. They can't do the cool stuff in the ring, but then you see the tits, and it's like, okay, well, that worked. I swear to God, that was Emma Darcy's idea. She was pitching that all week. Hey, what if I made out with White Worm? And all the writers were like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but we can't really say no. And then we're like, okay, just put it in there, and we're like, whatever.
It kind of reminds me of and just like that did this with the Sex in the City, like Cynthia Nixon, who's a gay in real life. In Sex in the City, she was straight, but then in the follow-up series, she's like, oh, actually, I'm gay now. I'm leaving my husband and my kids to be gay. And like in that, I'm like, oh, this is lame. But in this, so in Game of Thrones, I'm like, yes, more, give me more.
I wish there's a deleted scene where like Jace comes in and was like, mommy, I read in this book here that people died when Aegon conquered Westeros. A couple people got lit on fire. It's like, no fucking shit. Isn't like their sigil like of fire and blood and ash or something like that. That's this house's motto, for God's sakes.
And like, people are like starving with this blockade, and it's like it's fucking ugly. It's already all bad. We're not like living in Viserys happy times, and you're gonna blow it up. It's already blown up. That's the thing. Like, I remember coming into episode 1 being like, "Oh, it's on." The kid got fucking killed by a dragon. The war has begun. And then it was like, okay, now the war's begun. Now the war's begun. And then we got to episode 8, and the war still didn't fucking begin.
Nick also just sent us a good comment from the chat from Kenny Wally in the chat. Talk about Jace actually being the one to suggest the dragon open casting and then getting mad when his mom did it.
Yeah. Right.
That was tough. That's
I think the guy like suggesting an open marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'll get an open marriage.
Shows up at your house. And you're like, wait a minute. I can't believe I just used Brock Lesnar too.
That's bad writing. That is bad. That is just a bad job. That does not make sense.
Speaking of cheap pops, this next scene is just a cheap pop scene, but I loved it. It was like great in the way that they used it. I thought when Alice Rivers watches Damon sleep, they go out to the courtyard, the tree. She's like, it's time for you to see your fate, puts the fucking hand on the tree. And we get to see some throne shit. We see White Walker. We see Dany with the fucking baby dragons. And yes, it's just the cheap. They want the Rick Dalton point at the screen. I know what that is reaction, but they fucking got it out of me. And I loved it. And I was like, oh my God. And it makes sense for Damon. We should have got this earlier in the season, but it makes sense now that he realizes he's a small fry in the grand scheme of things. And he has to fall in line to make sure that now that he has this crazy knowledge, everything, goes the way it has to for the savior of the realm to be Dany.
But the problem with that is we know where that ends. Fucking nowhere. So
that is a little tough.
The way it was a cheap pop, and if Game of Thrones ended awesome, it would be like, fuck yeah. But it's like, oh, we're literally.
I wish she was on the fucking throne at the end of the show.
I thought for a moment in his vision, I thought we were going to maybe get Emilia Clarke was her name, when they had a blonde on the throne, but you couldn't see her face. And I was like, are we going to get a Game of Thrones cameo from Dany? And then it was just
that would have been crazy.
But that I thought would have been a real pop, and for him to realize that's what's coming. But it's like, okay, he's like, I mean, winter is coming in the old language, and knowing that it's just going to be the bandwagon is like.
But this also adds to the issue that they've had in that the whole series, right? They kind of try to make you empathetic to both Rhaenyra and Alicent. You're supposed to kind of like both of them. Pretty much everyone's been like, fuck Alicent, I like Rhaenyra. And then this whole vision just enforces that, because you see in this vision, hey, Rhaenyra needs to be on the throne in order for this vision to come true and save the entire planet. So now we're almost all emphatically on the side of Rhaenyra with not a shit given about Alicent or any of them. And I think the reality from what the book readers tell me too is you're really supposed to be like, hey, both these people suck, and I'm supposed to not really be rooting versus just kind of observing for both.
Yeah, they both got totally fucked over as young women. And the shittiest deck of cards, and we're just trying to make good with it. And now that's.
But we're all just fuck Alicent, Team Rhaenyra, basically. You know what I mean? They built that bias into us.
Sounds like a guy on Team Green that regrets his choice right now. You should have gotten that green tattoo, Kenjac.
Hey,
but
look,
that scene, they basically did that already around the candles in the fucking church, right? Where it was and how do you just do that twice? How do you do that twice?
And Helena was also involved in this some way, because at the end of the vision, she's talking, and there's the fucking three-eyed raven, and
I want to go back and like watch all those freeze frames of the vision, because I'm sure I saw the White Walker and Dany, and I think there was a couple other things in there though that are be Thrones-ish and whatever.
Easter egg videos are going to be cooking this week with that. There's a couple other things. The final scene when everyone's getting together, so they're going to be cooking. One little nitpick, and Bob, I agree. It felt like a cheap pop, and like, listen, the Dany stuff that's important because she is Targaryen, gets the look on. Let's also just call a spade a spade. The fucking Aegon that fucking does save the world, it's not Dany. It's fucking Jon Snow as Aegon this whole time. And I don't think I saw Jon Snow in there. She brought the dragons over, which helped Jon fucking save the realm. But it's Jon fucking Snow, Aegon Targaryen, that is like the fucking straw that stirs the drink at the end of the the day. So just a little hat tip to my fucking king right there.
They didn't want to remind us that he hits her with the dagger at the end, though. They were like, we're going to remind you that Game of Thrones existed in season 1.
Yeah. Oh, and then the dragon melted the throne. That was really good. That was the fucking rat from Departed right there.
Dragon was pissed.
The worst.
It's a metaphor. The throne
Aemon once again tries to convince Helena to join the battle. She tells him she saw what he did to Aegon and that he's going to be dead, which, again, a great Helena scene. She's fucking great in every the way they use her.
When she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Great. Great.
And then we get Rhaenyra and Adam pulling up on Daemon at Harrenhal. Another good scene where she shows up and in Valerian, he drops the winter is coming. Another just like cheap pop. Welcome to New York City. Hey!
My best city on earth. Yeah.
Even that, the way that they went through Harrenhal and Harrenhal's cooking. Like, it went from this desolate, empty spot and he's got everything.
It looks like a market or something.
Yeah. That was good. I did like her little, like, if you ever leave me again, I'm gonna fuck it. That's like your girl being like, if you ever do that again, I'll chop your dick off. But like, let's go to bed. You know, like,
and he had the reaction of like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Were you guys on pins and needles during all that though? Because I was like, David could really go either way. He might take that sword out and chop her in half for all I know. So,
but I was excited. Like, his speech got me. Like, I was like, all right, thank you. Finally, he's bending the knee.
More importantly, we're leaving Harrenhal for good, never to be returned ever.
I tweeted out completely that just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you go and pull something like this and totally redeem yourself. Because the raising of the swords was maybe the high point of the episode for me, right? I'd say that little flashback we just had, and then like the montage that would have been cool as a penultimate teaser for the finale.
And then we've got the Corliss scene where he yells or Alan yells at him rather, and he's like, "Hey, you need some help? You got to be more personable with your crew. You know, you're very silent. You're not talking to him." And he's like, "I don't need your fucking help." Yeah, he's like, "I was trying to get bread when I was a kid." Right, dude.
My brother got a fucking dragon, Dad. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Again, good scene, necessary, understandable. Not the time or place.
No. And then the finale, like the finale of the finale, is the White Worm tells Rhaenyra she must prevail, and Alicent visits her in the middle of the night. We get that whole scene. The sun for a sun line did hit. That was like, oh shit. Yeah. She's going there.
But that again is like so conflicting. Like Kenjac said, it's like, is she that bad bitch who's like, you have to give me your fucking son and I have to do it in front of everyone? Or is it like, I'm trying to keep the peace? They really lost the thread, I thought, with her, because it was pretty like when other characters were, you know, good and bad. There was gray areas. Like Rhaenyra really kept doing everything good, and then it just all fell apart. Ugh.
Also, like, not a peep from Alicent that when that son for the sun line, when it's like, hey, bro, like, she killed your grandson, got her beheaded, and you can blame her for that all you want.
You already got your fucking payback. Back, bitch.
A guy walked out with your grandson's head in a sack, and you didn't have a peep to say about it.
Misunderstanding. Classic mix-up. And shout out our guy David Snyder in the chat here. He says his wife's pointed out how this got leaked this episode during the week, and not one spoiler floated because there was nothing to spoil. It was just more fucking politicking back and forth. That should have been the first red flag.
Kenjac, you indulged, didn't you?
I indulged. I watched some clips of it, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to watch anymore. I think I watched like a handful of scenes. I think the ending montage I saw, and then a couple other ones. I forget what.
It's a good point. If something huge happened, we probably would have found out.
Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, we are less than 100 subscribers from 50K. So
let's go.
Well, let's get up there.
Everybody tell your friends.
The final montage, then we get everyone gearing up for battle, and I'm looking at my watch and I'm just like, oh, I know the runtime of this. We're approaching it. They're not going to give us any of the battle, are they? You get the Wild Dragon out in the Vale. You get Otto locked up in prison, which like I could have got another shot of who put him in jail. I guess they're building that up as suspense. Maybe Laris, though. There was the ongoing thing of, hey, we haven't heard back from Otto. Like, what's going on?
I'm happy to hear that, though, because Otto was like the best character of this whole fucking show.
Yes.
So
agreed.
The fact that we can maybe get more of him if we ever return to the show.
Like arguably the best actor on the show, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Insolent Pops.
And we see Aegon smuggled out, like the Laris plan. They're actually going forward with it and trying to get him out of King's Landing. So again, it sets up, in my opinion, I think it sets up for a very interesting season 3. And in the chat, I saw so much of season 3 is going to be all battles now, which is exactly what we heard about season 2 when we did this in season 1.
Yo, I mean, for real, HBO can talk all they want about their reasoning. If they're not doing battles because they don't have a budget. That's what, and unless the budget increases, that's like not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is. So also,
like this hyped me up, but like it can only hype you up to a certain degree when we have 2 years to wait. Like I'm not gonna be hyped in 2 years. I am when I see a trailer or something, but it's not the same. Like because this is the kind of hype that you build into a next week.
Yeah, not 2 years from now. Because it's also like. It's like, honestly, it's like the Mets. It's like, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to waste the whole fucking every night, Sunday night. I don't want to be here at 11:30 at night talking about a shitty TV show. I'm not going to do this again. And also, how many battles can there be? Because we know, like, it's at its best when there's a balance. So it's just like, is it going to be one big battle? Is it going to be a long, drawn-out battle? How much of this battle? Like, I don't know.
Just get Ryan Reynolds in. He'll fix everything. Like, he kind of fixed the MCU.
Honestly,
the movie
maybe,
where he curses, had a lot of violence. So just do that.
Maybe it's actually not even just Ryan Reynolds himself. Maybe it's Deadpool. Maybe just have him come in and break the fourth wall with everyone. Just be like, listen, I know last season was what it was, but we're just going to get right into the battles this season. And then
we need Jamie Lee Curtis to apologize too. That's
Can you imagine, like, when the time comes to watch the new season and you're gonna watch like a recap and we're gonna see some of the SO shit. Like, oh god, yeah, that sucked.
By the way, I do want to quickly get Nick Hammy's thoughts because he's been sitting in the back producing the show in full costume the entire show, which he always does. I appreciate that. It's full commitment. But Nick, what do you think of the finale?
No, I'm pretty let down.
Sweet Nick.
It ended and I was sitting there like, just my jaw was dropped.
Yeah, truly.
My girlfriend was sitting next to me like, it's okay. It's okay. And I was just like, I'm like, how do we do? Like, there's that whole mountain up. Let's fucking ride. And when it cut to black, I really was shocked.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I was the opposite, Bob. I saw like there was like 14 more minutes. I don't know. I guess it was all the filler or the credits and that extra thing. I was like, you could start a battle. You could show some shit in 10, 15 minutes and then nope.
Yeah, because even like the Battle of Rook's Rest is pretty fast. Like it happens in like 10 to 15 minutes. So I thought we were still getting that, like something like have a dragon take out a caravan of like.
Yes, even just a teaser of like, it's on and here's how it's going to look when we come back. Nothing.
Yeah, but overall, everything you guys have been saying about it just did not have the finale vibes. It did have penultimate vibes, but like. Yeah, and I was trying to look back and see, like, because season 2 of Game of Thrones, I didn't really remember that much. Like, there were definitely moments in it that stuck out, but they at least ended with Blackwater, even though that was like,
which was like one of the most fucking incredible things ever.
It is.
Yeah, so like they did have some kind of payoff there. Yeah, but if they would have cut it at episode 8, it would have sucked. Like, and this is why I've hated like. Again, I like the idea of Damon's dream sequences, but we had so many, and when they were just repeating scenes that we've already seen, I'm like, we could have had his dream sequence be 2-3 episode, like,
quick, like that.
Could have taken him eating his mom out. That like, I hope that comes up at some point. I hope like we're gonna need that payoff of like
Alice is like, and I saw that dream, by the way.
You sick fuck.
I did go through. I scrubbed through the dream sequence because it's on Twitter. It didn't seem like there was that much that you guys missed. The person sitting in the three-eyed raven chair does appear to be Helena, and she has like a red mark on her face.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
I thought that was the old timer that Brendan Stark meets when they goes up north. The guy that's like sewn into the tree. He's sitting on the tree. No,
there was
a lady. I
thought it was Helena.
Oh, that was a guy.
Yeah, where it might just be implying like I know she's just connected. It seems like. But yeah, that's I was pretty bummed out by it.
Yeah.
It's apples to oranges because season 1 did have some really good moments, and I think we got excited in the finale. But if this is how we felt after season 1, I think House of the Dragon dies on the vine because everyone was so mad after Thrones, and we did feel like there was momentum heading into season 2. Right now, like I'm back for season 3 at the very least, but if like I'm Kev, like with the Mets, like there's a Kunzel coming. Kunzel is coming. If you think he fucking around here,
Dude, Aaron just roasted him.
Streak. We need
Someone named Aaron M just roasted him in the comments. Oh my god, there's no coming back from this. House of the Dragon. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
True, man.
Tell you what, we didn't get a great finale here. I know the season went in circles, but I had a lot of fun recapping every episode every Sunday night with the chat, with all of you guys, putting on a stupid wig, seeing Clem's amazing costumes. Shout out to Mrs. Clem for a lot of the work on that as well. It was fun. Maybe we'll do this for the Dunk and Egg show in 2025. People are saying that's a fun little Game of Thrones miniseries. It'll hold us over till.
You know what's good about that? Like, it's all about expectations. I'll go into that like with Fast and the Furious expectations. Let's just run around, have a good time. This is supposed to be more, and that's why it's disappointing. The other one, we can just have fun and get some TV, MA, nudity, and sexual content and violence. Let's go.
By the way, if Dunkin' Donuts doesn't make some sort of like sandwich ad deal with that show, they're out of their mind.
Just a layup.
Put it in their lap.
Do we want to do season MVP, LVP?
Sure. I think that's the way to go. I don't know who
season MVP when it's all said and done. I feel like it's Helena for me.
Wow,
you go that as far as who's left that I really still.
Rhaenyra feels like a chalk pick to me, but I think it might be Rhaenyra for me still. I still think she had a lot of strong scenes.
Yeah, she was great for most of it. It's just more of like
Aegon was really good. The chat's saying Aegon, he was really good. We turned around on him this season.
Aegon was like, as an actor, by the way, like dude, like that guy is portraying a absolute desperate, hopeless, fucking kill me now.
The makeup's great too. His
really
eye
good.
was like his eye looked red around the fucking cornea. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I kind of want to see the dick, I just with the lack thereof.
That's how they'll get us back. I mean, we had it episode 1 of the series. We got Jesus.
And Nick loved it, as you see on his screen.
Yeah, I forgot when I went back to rewatch this. We just get a dick and chopped off like episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Babies and chopped dicks and all sorts of cool throne stuff, and we ended with season 8.
This might sound gross, but when I picture the destroyed cock, I picture the face of a Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Almost like a flower comes out.
That's more of an asshole than a
I was thinking.
Cock. I think of more of a
former U.S. soccer goalkeeper.
Smitty! It's a Smitty shout out.
I think of you put like a firecracker in like a can and it like popped open.
Yeah.
It's like shrapnel and like pieces left.
Microwave a hot dog too long.
Yeah.
That's basically the analogy he used. Yeah, he said like a thing over a spit or whatever.
Yeah. And then LVP of the whole season, I hate to say it's
Harrenhal,
right?
Harrenhal.
It's like
the town of Harrenhal.
Yeah,
you municipality.
Damon,
dude.
Damon is like the biggest waste of talent, like waste of a character, like the most badass guy who's been to battle and flown dragons and like there is room for him to have these visions and have this tormented, like I should be king, but I need to be loyal. That's all well and good, but not the whole fucking time.
I'm going to spin zone it for my boy Damon. I'm going to say the only reason Damon sucked, which he fucking sucked, and that was the flashback to Tank from Boba Fett, right? It was Arya sweeping the floors with the faceless men. It was like every time you saw it, your eyes rolled. He's back on the escalator again. That's why I'm giving my MVP to Alice Rivers. She had the baddest man in Westeros dance for her in his sleep. It was fucking incredible. The Barn Owl, the baddest bitch in Westeros, with my second place vote going to the second baddest bitch in Westeros, that old dusty bitch Vhagar. Vhagar fucking killed a dragon, lit motherfuckers on fire, and actually delivered what we were looking for. So give it to the two oldest bitches in Westeros, Alice River, who's like 1,000, and Vhagar, who's probably like 500.
I would give it to Rhaenys too, probably number 3. She's like
Rhaenys
she was
Yeah.
good. She was
Rhaenys
good.
was, that's my real MVP. But as far as like remaining characters, I feel like I want to see where Helena goes. But Rhaenys was that bitch. She was
a beast, dude.
Yeah.
She turned around.
And also Clem's horse.
Yeah. Oh,
Shout out to
Yeah.
Real Housewives. My Real Housewives.
Yeah, Clem Ford absolutely loves him.
LVP, I think LVP got it. We're forgetting this too. Kristen Cole put on a fucking LVP clinic that had us hating him across the board. Like, there were times where I'm like, maybe Team Green is the way to go. And I'm like, well, if Kristen Cole's on that, I'm out of that team. So
But he was like a MVP LVP. So good.
Yeah.
he's like Joffrey. Yeah.
Janet Soprano.
There's characters there that were
Yeah.
you suck, dude.
I thought you were gonna go Moon Dancer with your LVP Clem, so I appreciate
I didn't say it, Bob. You said it.
that. I'm getting tagged in so many Moon Dancer memes now. Like every time someone tweets a dragon chart, someone will just tweet it at me and just go tough. I'm riding with Moon Dancer though. I don't care. I'm still with Moon Dancer.
Let me just say this thing. I forgot to mention it. The little end montage. Two things got a fucking let's go out of me. Darren and his blue dragon, who I believe is called the Blue Queen or something like that. Is that right,
Yeah.
Nick?
I think so. I know it's like Tessarion the Blue.
Yeah.
Blue Queen might be right.
And then the Starks fucking banner got it moving, boys.
Yeah,
And
like
fucking
seeing
the
the
Starks
Starks
sent the full
coming across the
retirement home, dude.
yeah. That was all good. Yeah, that was good stuff. And honestly, very well directed episode. There was probably like 5 times this episode where I was like, "Oh my god, that shot is fucking awesome."
Yes. Yes.
You know what I love? The dragon. I guess Damon's dragon was just kind of sleeping when Rhaenyra's dragon showed up, and he was like, he kind of popped his head up. It's like, what do the dragons do when they're just chilling? They're just hanging out, waiting for shit to happen.
They just eat, hang out, and then burn down cities.
shit.
Like,
Pretty cool life.
Yeah.
And that shit with Olivia Cook and Emma Darcy, like the back and forth, like there was a couple moments like that's some fucking acting right there.
Yeah.
It was
Their
lost.
Man,
chemistry
just
is
think
perfect.
about, like, Rhaenys had me making videos and screaming like passionately a few episodes ago, and to end on like this, like
You know what it reminds me of? You know the tweet where it's like Chris Paul makes a crazy move
yeah,
to put the deficit for 43. It's like
Yeah.
that's what those scenes are to me.
yeah.
It's like, hey, great acting, awesome thing, awesome move you just pulled off. It's like, but in the grand scheme of things, kind of didn't do much.
This did
So
make me
everybody
think,
who's in denial, watch it again. Give it a couple weeks. You'll be over here on this side.
I've been monitoring the chats. I don't think anyone's in denial. I
it
think
seems
Yeah.
people are
Pretty
pretty in
universal.
agreement in the chat. This season did make me think. Last season, I liked Millie Alcock so much as Rhaenyra that the adjustment process was weird for Emma Darcy. This season, I'm like, oh no, Emma Darcy, that's the one. Like she is Rhaenyra and like so badass in that role. So I thought that was great. All right, that was House of the Dragon season 2. That was season 2. We'll be back for the next House of the Dragon show. I don't even know what the official name of it is, the next Game of Thrones spin-off show. But when that comes out, come back to this channel, My Mom's Basement, and we'll be here for you.
Who knows? By then you'll be like a dad. You'll have a house.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see you then.
subscribe.